Welcome to Creative Cash Flow Planning, Part 3, Day 3. We are talking about how you can move mountains. I'm sure you're like, move mountains? Like, what do you mean I can move mountains? Well, Bob Ross always said, if you put a mountain over there and you don't like it, just pan over it, move it over to the other side, right? So I wanted to talk about one of the other big things that most people struggle with when they start this process of budgeting, cash flow planning, really just generally trying to get a hold of their money, get a hold of their cash flow. And that is this feeling of scarcity, this feeling of fear. It's that what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if that doesn't happen? What if I can't get here? What if I can't make that happen? What if I make that happen and it ruins everything? This scarcity, this fear is really behind a lot of what holds people back as they start this process of cash flow planning. And one of the most common things that I have seen when that happens is that the ability to dream gets really small. It gets really small because you're just scared. There's so many what if questions. There's so many worries that the bigger you try to dream, the scarier it gets. You really just feel like it's not even possible, right? And so I wanted to tell you a story about my client Tracy. This actually just happened this last week. So Tracy and I worked together about 6 or 8 months ago. And when we were talking about what her big dream was, she was like, oh, like one of the things is like, we really need to buy a house. Like we want to buy a house, but we want to buy a house in the mountains. But it's probably going to cost us like $500,000 and we're just not sure how we're going to get there. And it was a lot of this like we really want this house in the mountains. It's probably going to be $500,000 and I just don't know how we could possibly make it happen. And like, that's why we need help getting control of our money. And so many amazing things happened in the time that we worked together, in terms of like her conversations she was able to have with her husband about money and just how easy it became for her to actually be looking at these things, right? And so we worked together in a 90-day intensive and we stopped working together about, 5, 6 months ago, but we're still in touch. We're in a couple of circles and we were on a call together with a bunch of other people the other day. And she starts talking about how they've been able to start dreaming again and dreaming bigger. And she's like, oh my gosh, we're so excited. We're going to get a house in the mountains. It's going to be in this specific area and it's going to be like this. And we're going to do it as a bed and breakfast. And it's going to be like $1.5 million. And I'm so excited. And I was like, Tracy, I was like, do you see? I literally told everybody, I was like, you guys, Tracy's dream went from like, oh, we need to buy a house and it's going to cost us $500,000 and I don't know, to, oh my gosh, so excited. It's going to be a bed and breakfast. And it's going to be in this mountain area and it's going to be $1.5 million. And we're so super excited. And like, the dream got bigger, y'all. And when you can release some of that fear and release some of that scarcity around what's going on with your money, the ability to dream bigger is just exponential. It is exponential. You get to start getting creative with your dreams, which is really exciting. So if you are on, say hi. If you're on the replay, say hi. And let me tell you what our activity is for today. I want you to take this same piece of paper that you've been drawing on the last 2 days. You should have a money tree on one half of the page and you should have a self-portrait on the other half of the page. And now I want you to do whatever you want to it. I know you're like, wait, I need rules. Whatever you want to do to it. I want you to make it your masterpiece. Get creative, give it some flair, whatever you want to do to that image. I want you to feel into it. What kind of feeling do you want to get out of it? Just make it your own. Take your pencils, take your crayons, your markers, whatever you've got, and just make that your own. And I'm going to circle back to this at the end so you'll understand, why have we been drawing pictures? What does that have to do with budgeting? What does that have to do with cash flow planning? I want you to see that. So make that image your own, while you listen to me talk, because this is the truth, is you get freedom. You have the freedom to create whatever you want. And I truly believe that having a cash flow plan actually gives you freedom. And so many people are like, oh my gosh, I can't budget. It's going to be so restrictive. No, It's something that you control, right? And so I believe it gives you freedom. I've had people tell me I can't budget because I have an irregular income. I'm like, oh, if you have an irregular income, all the more reason to have a plan, right? Or they'll tell me I can't budget because I'm just too impulsive. I'm so impulsive. Let me challenge you here. If there's no plan for the money, isn't every purchase technically an impulse buy? Maybe with the exception of your bills, right? But like if you didn't actually have a plan for the money, then every single time you spend it, you're just like, oh yeah, that sounds good, right? So without a plan, of course you're an impulsive spender because there was never a plan for the money. There was never something in particular that you had decided you were going to do with it. And so of course you're an impulsive spender. All the more reason to get a plan. I believe a plan equals freedom because when you then say, you know what, I'm going to give myself permission in this plan. I'm going to decide that this much money is going to go towards eating out, whatever it is. Then when you go eat out, you're like, sweet, I ate out. It was inside of the plan. You have the freedom to do that within the plan. Whereas if you never give yourself permission to eat out, every single time you go eat out, you're going to feel bad. Every single time you go buy that luxury thing, you're going to feel guilty. Every single time you impulse buy, you're going to feel guilty because there was never actually a plan for that money. So by giving yourself a plan and you go, oh, it's cool. I have plenty of money in my allowance. I can do anything that feels good right now, right? There's no guilt. There's no shame. It releases so much of that. And it gives you that freedom to do the things that you want to do. You get to decide what is in that plan, right? You even get to change your priorities as life happens, right? Something comes up. This actually happened to us last year that we had wanted to buy a new TV, but it was going to be like $1,500 for the kind we wanted. And so it was kind of lower down on the priority list. And then our current TV broke. And we were like, oh, okay. And so we took a second, we sat down, we looked at the cash flow plan, we rearranged a couple priorities, and we made the TV happen intentionally. Freedom. Freedom to do what needs to be done without fear, without scarcity, without guilt, without shame. You have the freedom to do that, right? It's moving mountains, right? It's like you see the mountain over there and you're like, I don't want that over there, right? You're like, nope, we're going to move that over there. And here's the thing about moving mountains. This isn't just about changing and adjusting. This is also about the things that you can create. Your income is your most powerful wealth building tool. And when you can harness it and you can make it go where you want it to go, you can do amazing things. You can do incredible things. I know last year I did a whole cultivating wealth workshop, and one of the things we talked about was impact. What is the impact that you want to have with your money? I would love for you to share it with me. Share it with me in the comments. What is the impact that you want to have with your money? What do you want to create in this world? As you start planning ahead with what happens with your money, what do you want to create? What do you want to be able to do because you were able to harness your income? What do you want that to look like? You can move mountains. When you get control and you harness your income, you can do anything. You can literally decide what you want to create and create it, right? You can use the medium that you have and you can create it, right? Now there's very few rules, right? There's rules, but there's not a lot. The rule is number one, priorities need to come first. And inside of Intuitive Money Mastery, I talk a lot about how to identify your priorities. Like, what does that really look like? And number two, spend less than you make. I know that's a hard one, but that's it. Those are the only rules. There's no other rules. Priorities come first, spend less than you make. Everything else is all just about intentionality, mindfulness, and purpose, right? And when you have that kind of mindfulness and intentionality, you can move mountains, right? The purpose here is that with all of these pieces where you say, okay, I'm going to build fun into my system. I'm going to build fun into my budget, right? I'm going to release any of the guilt and shame that I have. I'm going to reflect and refine my system until it feels really good. I'm going to give myself the freedom to do the things that feel really good to me. I'm going to move mountains. I'm going to make sure I'm having the impact that I want. I'm going to reflect and refine and adjust priorities if I need to. You're basically creating your own little money masterpiece. right? You are creating your masterpiece, and that is the goal here. When you pull into creative cash flow planning, you get to make your own masterpiece of what it looks like for you, both the system itself that you create, as well as what happens to your money and where it goes and what you get to do with it. You get to create your own masterpiece. You know, I laugh because I teach theoretical strategies, right? General principles, right? And not a single one of my clients has implemented those exactly the same way I do. In fact, not a single one of my clients has implemented those the same way as any of my other clients. Every single person I have worked with has found their own spin on the theories that I teach. When I explain those strategies and I say, hey, this is what you want to look like. You want to make sure that you're thinking about this. You want to make sure you implement this kind of intentionality. Every single one of my clients has gone, ooh, I like it when I do it this way. Ooh, I really prefer to do it like this. Oh, I really like it when this shows me this view of this, right? Every single one has done it their own way, and I love that. I absolutely love, because my goal is not to say, hey, here's my system, do it my way. That's not how it works. That's not the way that I work. My goal is to show you the things that you should be thinking about, the things you should be considering as you put your system in place, so that you can make your own system. Now, I will tell you, inside of Intuitive Money Mastery, inside of the financial strategy portion of the program, I actually provide for you a bunch of different systems, right? Like, here's a bunch of different methods you could use. Here's different budgeting strategies. Here's a couple different spreadsheets that I've created for me and my clients. Here's different systems we've used, and I give you a lot of different options, because what I want you to be able to do is take all of those things and say what works, right? Which pieces work, which pieces feel really good, which pieces are, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's way too overwhelming. Like, in there, I do include my personal 26 paycheck or 24 pay period annual budget planner. And for people who love spreadsheets, it is a gold mine. For people who hate spreadsheets, it is way overwhelming, right? And so if you look at it and you're like, oh my God, just ignore it, right? That's the whole point, is to give you pieces that you can take and build your own way of working, right? That actually feels really, really, really good to you. So your homework for day 3 is to share your masterpiece. Now I'm going to briefly share mine because I did it before. I added a rainbow. I'm not really done with that, I don't think. I added a rainbow. And I also added some happy little money bushes because I just felt like I needed more, right? Take your photo, make your own masterpiece, right? Now, let me tie this together. Why did I have you do this? You're like, what does this have to do with money? Right? What does this have to do with cash flow planning, right? Here's the thing. I gave general instructions, right? General guideline, general instructions. Draw on half of the paper, draw your version of Happy Little Money Tree. On the other half of the paper, draw a self-portrait of you and the face that you make when everything's going right, right? General instructions. The other general instructions for today is make it your own, right? There's going to be some of you who did the half of the paper this way. There's going to be some of you who drew it on this side and on this side, as opposed to side by side. There's going to be some of you who did it maybe vertically this way, where it was like half and half, right? There's going to be some of you that used just black pen. There's going to be some of you that used crayons. There's going to be some of you that use markers, some of you that use colored pencils. Not a single one of you is going to have implemented the instructions, the general guidelines, the same way. You all have implemented them differently. Now, I'm also going to challenge you that if you were to do this again another time, you'd probably do it differently. You'd probably implement it a little bit differently, partly because you know what I'm up to, and partly because you would be different, right? You may have done it differently, a different way, a different time, right? And this is the thing, this is the trap, that people feel like they have to create consistency, right? That, oh my gosh, if I'm going to implement this, I have to do it the exact same way every single time. I have to do it exactly right, act exactly this way every single time, or I'm failing. I don't believe in that. I think it's more important that you are persistent than that you are consistent. Persistence meaning pushing through, pushing forward, keep going, even when things are a little bit hard, even when you're not quite sure what's happening. Persistence, moving forward, keep going, keep changing, keep reflecting and refining, keep adjusting that system until it feels really good to you, until it sits, right? And this is why I realized that the 90-day intensives that I was doing when I was doing one-on-one with my clients was flawed, because we get to the end of the 90 days and they'd be like, all right, cool, like I feel really good. And they'd like keep going without me. And I would check in with them maybe 2 months later, 3 months later, sometimes 4 or 5 months later. And there was always more to learn. There was always more that they needed to adjust, or in some cases had people that like really weren't quite where they needed. They needed a little bit more support. They needed longer uh, timelines, right? They had more to do. Things came up that we weren't able to address in that 90 days, right? And so this is why I created Intuitive Money Mastery the way that I did, because it is a membership program, which means when you come into Intuitive Money Mastery, you can stay as long as you need to. There is no timeline. I'm not implementing a timeline on you. There's no like, you must finish the modules in this length of time. There's no, you must, have a perfect budget in place by 90 days. There's none of that. You get to come in, you get to absorb, you get to have the community, the support, the accountability, and the resources, and you get to take your time creating and have us there to be there for you, to support you, to coach you, to guide you the entire way. And you can stay as little or as long as you want. That is why I created that, because I realized that there was this piece missing, that I needed to be able to provide this longevity of coaching. And I was like, I want to see hundreds and hundreds of people experience this financial fulfillment, because that's the beauty of it, right? The financial fulfillment, seeing my clients feel amazing about their money journey, has literally been the most rewarding part. And I will tell you, I have one client who paid off over $400,000 in debt, but she didn't quite get to that fulfillment part, right? And part of that was because this was early on in my coaching and I didn't quite have the tools to give her. But my clients that paid off maybe $5,000 or $7,000 worth of debt, but feel incredible about their money journey, incredibly rewarding. And I want to see hundreds and hundreds of people come to the same conclusion, that you can feel amazing about your money journey right now in the messy middle while you're going through it. And that's why Intuitive Money Mastery exists. It exists to take the best of intuition and money mindset and combine it with really powerful strategy and prioritization to create a financial system that feels so good to you that it creates true financial fulfillment right now. Right now. That is the entire purpose. And in Intuitive Money Mastery, you have a full mindset course that's going to show you how to reject scarcity, make peace with money, really trust yourself with this process. And then you have a full foundational financial strategy course that shows you how to get real awareness around your money, how to set goals that are actually ones you want to reach for, how to optimize your creative cash flow plan, how to make that work for you, how to get real momentum in your money, and how to really trust yourself and be confident making money decisions. In addition to that, one of my favorite things that I've put into this program is I've put co-working sessions. Twice a month, we're going to hop on Zoom together, and whatever it is that you need to work on when it comes to your money, whether it's your cash flow plan, whether it's your budget, whether it's paying some bills, whether it's, I know Diane last week was looking into some insurance things that she had to take care of, right? Whatever it is, that's a time that we're all committing to each other to say, hey, during this hour, we're all going to sit here and do this together. And that gives you a place of accountability and also a place of support, because I'm there if you need to ask questions as you're going through whatever it is that you're working on. We do monthly training, we do monthly coaching. You have this place where you can come and ask questions, where you can celebrate your wins, where you can get that support. And it's not just 90 days. It's not just 6 weeks. It's not even just a year. It's literally as long as you need us, we are there. As long as you need the support, it is going to be there. Like I said, my dream is to see hundreds and hundreds of women come in, and men come in, and find that financial fulfillment where they can finally trust themselves and actually enjoy the journey, because that's what it's all about, right? And I realized, my 90-day program, my 90-day one-on-one program is $1,500. Working with me directly one-on-one was over $250 an hour. And I realized the only way to be able to see hundreds and hundreds of people find this financial fulfillment was to make sure that I made it accessible. And so that's what I did. And I'm so excited. This is not a $5,000 program. This is not even a $1,000 program. Getting into Intuitive Money Mastery, getting access to the full mindset course, full strategy course, all of the co-working sessions, all of the coaching sessions, all of the training sessions, the group for accountability and support, a place to ask questions, a place to celebrate your wins, a safe space to work through this money journey together is only $97 a month. Come whenever you're ready. Stay as long as you need. That's what it's there for. And I'm so excited about it. So go through the homeworks from these workshops. I want you to think about how you can add fun into your cash flow plan. I want you to think about ways that you can give yourself more grace as you work through this. And I want you to think about what it would look like to move mountains. What does your masterpiece look like? What do you want to create with your money? Because you can. And that's what Intuitive Money Mastery is for, is to show you how to do that, to give you the tools and resources that you need to create that system for yourself. So the link is in the description of this video, but I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the comments as well. It's just NicoleWeaver.com/Intuitive Money Mastery. And if you just go to NicoleWeaver.com, can't type. If you go to go to NicoleWeaver.com, there's a button right on the front, Intuitive Money Mastery Membership. You can take you right where you need to go. When you jump in, you will get a link to come into the group, and all of the instructions are there pinned to the top of the group for you to get going. Okay? If you have questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. That's what I'm here for. I am a complete open book. This membership, there is no timeline on this. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, there's only 5 spots, so you can only get in for the next, week. I'm raising the price. Nope. It's here. It's here to stay. It's here as long as you need it. It's here for you to start whenever you're ready and stay as long as you need it. That's why I created it, because I want you guys to have a place to create the things that you want to create with your money. And my goal was to make it accessible. Okay? I adore you guys. I hope this workshop has been fun for you. I hope that you have enjoyed the green Bob Ross afro, because it's all about enjoying the freaking journey. All right, guys, I absolutely adore you. I can't wait to see your masterpieces. And I want you to share with us what you've gotten out of this workshop. All right, love y'all. As always, trust yourselves, enjoy the journey, and I'll see you in Intuitive Money Mastery. Bye, guys.